TitleMatchNetwork.com.
I pretty much had to sit behind the curtain and watch them match from the first match all the way to the end of the show. And that's pretty much how I pretty much picked up picked up some moves and stuff like that. And as the time went on, we would go to the building early, and there'll be nobody there but a big old wrestling ring. They didn't even open the doors yet, and then the ring crew would set up the ring, and I would just look around and jump inside the ring and sort of, bounce. I wanted to know how it felt in there, and then my uncle seen the interest in me. Afa Sika seen the interest in me, and we started going to the buildings early, and they started to train me, and that's how I ended up, become. That was my training. My training camps, going early to the show. But I traveled with them. That's where I met Hogan.
Because he was down there, right?
Yeah, I met Hogan and Terry these times. Bruce the Barbecue Beefcake. Who else? I could say Piper. A lot of big names. Paul Orndorff, one of my other greatest wrestlers that I've liked. He taught me a lot. Gave me some good word of wisdom as growing up as a kid. Big Cat Ernie Ladd. There's a lot of big names that came from that federation. I think it was run by Bill Watts at the time. After Florida, they traveled to Louisiana.
Oh, you went with them there?
I went with them to Louisiana too. So I was 16. I was young, and I didn't finish high school. I didn't graduate it, so I had nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose and nothing to turn back to. I figured, well, this is it. It's like filling out an application. You sit there and you wait your turn, And that's pretty much, where I ended up at.
What do you remember about the Cowboy, Bill Watts?
Well, I remember a lot of sold out crowds, that's for sure. With and I remember my uncles and them going to the buildings, and all the people will cheer. Not will give them the big cheer, but they sing this song. This is one more, and I met Junkyard Dog there.
Oh, he was huge.
That was another. Right? I forgot to bring. God bless his soul that he's passed away, but. He was another great wrestler out there, and he was real huge out there.
Wow.
People just loved him out there, I met Bill Watts, but I met him like maybe 2 times out there. He's a big cowboy guy, country boy, cowboy hat and cowboy belts, but there was a different atmosphere, at the time, just like the territory. And the meantime, everybody's trying to get up to the big time, which is the Big Apple. They called it at the time the Big Apple. We didn't know anything about it. Afa Sika didn't know anything about it. And Terry, we were all in the band. We're just traveling out there until we found out this big man was running up here. And the Big Apple was the WWF.
Sure.
But there was another competition here as well, too. There was another one. It was on ESPN. I forget the...
Pro Wrestling USA was here for a while.
Kurt Angle was one of them that I've seen on that show.
Okay.
Kurt Angle, I'm talking Mr. Perfect.
Oh, Kurt Hennig. Right, the Road Warriors.
And all those guys are exactly right. That's it. The Gagne.
Right.
And that's where I seen the other. So I thought it was them. But because those were like the only big 2 at the time company that was growing up at the time. So it was pretty big. A lot of good memories in it.
Wow. When you started training, what was the hardest thing to pick up?
Timing. Psychology. Those are the main two things, especially the timing, because timing is everything, right? But just thank God that I made it through it. You know what I mean? I was trained by the best, and things don't happen overnight, And I'm sure there'll be a lot of kids. I hope there's a lot of kids that'll be watching this DVD. Again, I thank you guys for the opportunity to share some of my stories. Some of my true stories, how I grew up in this business. There's good and there's bad.
Yeah. But
you have to make the right choices, because you do have a choice in life to make. So kids, if you're out there watching this DVD, I hope that this will teach you and hopefully will give you some good word of wisdom that you have choices to make in your life. And you want to do good, because if you do good, you save a lot of money. If you sin, it costs you money. So either way you go, you want to go the right way. Let's put it that way. So again, you can become a professional wrestler, baseball player, football player, whatever you want to do in life is, I think if you just make those right choices to the right choices that you make, you'll end up to become somebody big. Just try to keep your head above water and stay focused. That's an important thing. These are the messages out to all my wrestling fans out there that I have throughout the whole world. and I'm sure a lot of young kids now there are watching wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you get a hold of this DVD, some word of wisdom from the Tonga Kid. Stay true to the game and be loved by it.
What do you remember about your first match? Very first match.
I remember getting stretched. I remember getting stretched, and it was by Salvatore Bellomo.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys ever.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Him, but he was a great wrestler. You know, I'm going way back in the days. I'm 40 now, so and we're talking about 20 years ago. But
okay,
I remember getting stretched from Salvatore Bellomo. I remember him having me run up and down the bleachers. You know, it was just a totally different type of training. But I'll never forget that. I think it's either him or Johnny Roz. I don't know if you remember the tag team Puerto Ricos.
Sure.
It was Johnny Roz and Jose Estrada back in the day.
Jose Estrada and Johnny Roz.
One was bald, the other one had the goopy.
Jose was bald, Johnny had the short hair.
I think he was my first match, and then it was Salvatore Bellomo. But the question you asked me, what did I remember in my first match? Now, out of those two, I don't remember which one did I wrestle first, but I did remember getting stretched. And it was from Salvatore Bellomo. That name I'll never forget because he had me he stretched me. Yeah. He pretty much just had me tap out, told me, come on, kid, what you got? So I haven't heard from him in a while. So if you're out there watching the tape too, hello, Salvatore.
So your first matches were for Vince Sr.?
Yes.
Vince Sr.? Okay.
Yes, it was.